Also, I feel like we did really prove it in any way we could that was within our comfort zone on Sam and Colby. You know, we're not obviously popping our joints or anything. You can see, you know, my arms in the video.
I don't think people would. I mean, there's some individuals out there that
you think a lot. You two think and assume a lot. Like, you assume automatically just because you would step out of your comfort zone again, take your socks and shoes off, God forbid, right? God forbid you take off your socks and shoes, guys. You know what? Look at that shit. Look how dirty those are. Maniacs, welcome back to the channel, doing another reaction to Project Fear. I know it wasn't even that long ago when I posted the last one, but we're going to go ahead and dive into this one because this is only 33 minutes long, and honest to God, this is the one video I was actually most anticipating that has to deal with the Conjuring series for Project Fear. And honestly, the videos have not been bad. They're not like bad videos. It's just I get more aggravating to a lot of people that Satori and Cody are getting all this attention from another paranormal group that a lot of people seem to have a lot of respect for. Now, personally, I have nothing against the Project Fear crew. As a matter of fact, I like their investigations. I have a lot of fun watching them. It is unfortunate, and I don't think they deserve as much heat as they are getting. A lot of people think that they should have just deleted the videos altogether, which I could understand that point of view, but I also can understand their point of view and not just deleting stuff just to delete it. As a matter of fact, I think one of the team actually commented on my most recent controversial video talking about this subject. And they were very respectful, very nice and everything, and even going, you know, Dakota went as far as liking one of my tweets. So they obviously want people to kind of view the video in the sense that, you know, just imagine you watching it around the time that it was actually filmed and not after the fact, like all the controversy comes out and everything. And as much as I understand where that mindset is coming from, it's very hard to have that mindset. Like, I understand that it takes you a month or so to edit your videos and whatnot, and I get it. There's a lot of time and effort put into your videos, so I'm not saying I don't understand why you decided to post anyways. I get it, man. I really do. I really wish, you know, you guys best of luck, and I hope after this you guys can move on and have a really successful line of videos come out. But unfortunately, I just feel like no matter where Cody and Satori go, they're going to carry an ounce of just shit with them, and that's just being nice at this point. People just don't buy them, and I don't buy them. As someone who bought them in the beginning, I don't buy them, and it's not only because of what I've seen from debunkers, but it's just also the way they presented themselves. It just is very questionable. A lot of cop-out answers, a lot of things that make no sense, a lot of things that are being caught in lies. I mean, there's just so much out there now. And people keep asking me, where's this evidence? Guys, you're just not doing your research. Does that remind you of somebody? You're just not doing your research? That was Satori channeling through me. You're not doing your research. Go out there. You can find the stuff. You just got to put the effort into doing it, because there are debunking videos. Now, whether you believe those debunking videos or not, if you're very stubborn or whatnot, I don't know. What have you. But they are out there if you want to watch them. All I can tell you is when I watch them, I see the points that people are making, and I can understand, and I actually kind of buy into it because, yeah, we live in a world of con artists, and that's not that crazy to think that maybe some people in the paranormal community are con artists. The Fox sisters were, and they did the same exact shit that they're pulling. So the difference between the Fox sisters and Cody and Satori was at some point they just came out and admitted it. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this video, guys. If you like this type of content and want to see more content like this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Of course, go support the original video. Show Project Fear a lot of love. I know they're getting a lot of heat for this, but go show them love. Go show them support, because it is unfortunate that they're getting caught in the crossfires for just not deleting the videos that they filmed. And I can understand, again, why they decided not to do that. As a content creator myself and as someone who's put time and effort into video editing, it is understandable why it was too much to just scrap it. All right, let's go ahead and watch this video, and I'll give you guys my thoughts, of course, during and after. If I want to pause it, I will pause it. So don't worry, I'm not going to try to talk over them. You will know what I say. So here we go with the video.
There's like a couple of videos out there, people like filming their feet and like doing something in their shoe, and it's making like a tapping noise. Would you guys be willing to do the session with your shoes off and your socks off?
Just by that look alone by Cody was very, very suspicious. He was like, Not sure if we're going to do that. As a matter of fact, they didn't even look like they were saying anything. I'm not even into the interview yet, and I'm already kind of guessing what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to go ahead and watch this. I'm sorry. I'm anticipating this because it seems like they're going to be asking the hard questions that I think a lot more people should have been asking. Guys, there are videos of people doing it without their socks and shoes on. Would you guys be willing to do this? And it looks like they're not doing it, so... If it was that simple, they would have done it.
If you've seen our last 2 videos at the Conjuring House, I think you will find this very interesting. When we filmed at the Conjuring House in early October with Cody and Satori, there was no public skepticism at the time. Just to recap, Cody and Satori claimed to have a very unique ability. They would link their hands and recite the alphabet out loud.
A, B, C.
They would then get loud knocking noises to come through, landing on specific letters. Not only were they able to spell out relevant words and phrases for us, but we also had the spirits of deceased relatives come through and talk to us. As incredible as this was for us in the moment, we were left with more and more questions as the weeks went by. And on top of that, only a few weeks after we filmed, Sam and Colby, our good friends, they released their series with Cody and Satori. And as expected, the internet had a ton of questions. Some of the same questions that we had. Recently, we attended a paranormal convention.
Okay, so people were telling me this, and this is something I guess I got wrong, which I do apologize. I don't mean to get everything wrong sometimes, but sometimes I do because I'm a fuck up. But I was thinking that they filmed a little bit after because Sam and Colby got a hold of them and whatnot and saying, you know, hey, come check this out. And they wanted to get in on the action, so they decided to film. I think he just said that they were unaware of Satori and Cody's method. Well, no, they weren't unaware because when they got there, they were acting like they knew what they were talking about, right? One sec.
Only a few weeks after we filmed, Sam and Colby, our good friends, they released their series.
Oh, okay, now I'm understanding. A few weeks after they filmed. So Sam and Colby did it first. They did it. And then after a few weeks of them filming, Sam and Colby released their series. And then all the comments started coming in. All the controversy started coming in. And now they were like, hey, guys, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this. So I'm not sure if we should post this or not or things like that. Okay, now it makes more sense. I missed that.
And as expected, the internet had a ton of questions. Some of the same questions that we had. Recently, we attended a paranormal convention in New Jersey where Cody and Satori were also present. We took this opportunity to sit them down and ask them hard questions. These were questions both from our own experiences and from internet skeptics. So let's get right into the video. This is our full sit-down conversation with Cody and Satori.
Okay, so this should be interesting. So, okay, this was filmed after they had filmed and everything, and Sam and Colby's video came out. This could be pretty intense. I'm curious.
So, right now, we are in New Jersey, and we are attending the New Jersey Para-Unity Convention. And it's been about a month since we filmed at the Conjuring House. We did the video, and you guys hadn't had the Sam and Colby video out.
Yeah.
They just came out with their video like 2 weeks ago, and you guys have had so much like attention. But obviously, with what happened with you guys, you're gonna have people who are just trying to debunk it,
Yes.
So I think at some point we'll get to that, some of the heavy-hitting questions, some of the conspiracies out there about like what the skeptics are saying about your abilities. So we'll get to that. For anyone watching who doesn't know, you got to go back and watch our last 2 videos. But we kind of labeled it as the cast method, Cody and Satori method. There's the knocking method, is what kind of Sam and Colby called it.
Can you come down here? Can you come to this floor?
Yeah. Hi.
Cody and Satori, like, take us through the day that you realized that you had this capability, this ability, and like, how did it happen?
Okay, so a lot of people ask us that question, and to answer it on accident, we didn't know we could do any of this beforehand. I mean, now looking back on it, we're noticing some things in our lives could have led up to this moment, but definitely didn't have the kind of communication we had until we first met, August of 2018.
It was, and I was a part of TAPS, you know, her dad's team, for about 5 years before Satori had an interest in joining the team. And then one day we get a message that Satori wants to come out and join the team. So we're like, okay. So I was like, you know what? It's on my way. I'll come by and pick her up.
It wasn't on his way. He drove off route to come get me. He says, "Hi, I hear you're joining the team. Let me come pick you up since it's on the way." He drove like an hour off route.
Smooth.
Okay, so you went an hour out of your way
Yes.
to pick up
her up.
Satori.
So he went an hour off route to come pick me up.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, and then we get to the location, and Satori and I, of course, are teamed up right away because we were the closest in age, and we thought the place was really active. We had a lot of knocking sounds, there were some lights flickering. We're like, wow, this is really cool. And then eventually the rest of the team is like, wait a minute, maybe you guys should go off and experiment with this, because it seems to only be happening when you two are working together and around each other. So we went to a private residence case, and we stayed up the entire night just kind of experimenting.
And to be completely clear and honest, the spirits are just as confused as we are when it comes to communicating. We've tried, when we first started.
I don't know if that's the case, though, because most of the time when you go to these places, you do the ABCDEFG method, it seems like they're already aware of how to do it. No joke. Like, they'll be going to these places, these random locations, right? Like in the park, and all of a sudden, ABCDEFG, and then the spirit would, like, stop on the one that they want to do. Do you want to say a sentence? And it's like, yep. And it's like, she says they're confused, but they don't come off confused, especially in the places that you say you've never been to before. I don't know, because it seems like they're perfectly in tune with what you guys are doing.
Doing this, I believe the first thing we ever spelt out from a spirit was, how is this happening? Or how is this possible? Something like that. And so it's just showing that they were just as confused as us. So it's not like they know what they're doing. It was almost like we all figured it out, you know?
Right, and the alphabet kind of evolved over time. It was, of course, once for yes, twice for no, because most groups, that's what we're always asking for.
Right.
And then it evolved to, well, you know, if you're out there and you're okay, knock 3 times. And
Okay,
then
and he also says this, right? He also says this, but then that footage came out of you doing the ABCDEFG method. If it was just a simple yes and no, you wouldn't have been doing the ABCDEFG method, and this was before he got with Satori. I don't know. So, see, some of the things that he's saying don't add up that well. They just don't.
3 times, and eventually we got to the alphabet, thinking of Ouija boards and things like that. And
But you were
I have
doing
a
it
question
before
on
then.
taps, because like I don't think a lot of people understand taps, like that it's actually bigger than just ghost hunters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain like your role in taps before she even got involved, and like how long were you even a part of it? Like what year did you start taps?
Right. So when Jason Hawes founded TAPS in 1990, way before Ghost Hunters even came out in 2004. Once the show came
Jason
out,
Hawes the man.
of course, there was an influx of cases from around the world. So there was 2 branches of TAPS kind of formed: the production side of TAPS, and then the non-televised cases of portion of TAPS, and that was called the TAPS Home Team. And that's the part that I ended up becoming a part of. Once Satori came into the picture, and we started working together, then we ended up on the production side of TAPS as well.
And when was your very first like participation with like any group? Like when did you get into the paranormal?
2011.
Wow.
And how about you? When did you get into the paranormal?
I was investigating my house before I could ever do anything like that. But officially, like the public side of it, that was 2018.
You guys obviously have this connection, but like, why do you guys think, have you guys asked the question, like, why this is happening to you guys specifically, or like why this is, what it is about you two that is making this thing actually happen? Because you guys have said before, when we've talked, that you guys have, you know, grabbed other hands of people and it doesn't work.
Yeah, we definitely don't think we're the only ones, for sure. Since Sam and Colby's videos have come out, we've been contacted by people who have been trying this and saying that they're starting to get little results. But I just think when
Have you?
this is just my opinion.
I'm curious,
when
guys. I'm curious, and if anybody out there actually can do a method like this without actually popping your joints, let me know in the comment section. I mean, the yes and no knocking stuff, again, isn't really all that common, but if you could do a method like this, then let me know.
certain living energy works together really, really well. So I don't think we're just singled out. It definitely seems that maybe it's a little more direct with us for some reason, and we just don't know.
The reason why it's more direct is because you went on a 10 million subscriber channel and pretty much spat in the faces of millions of people. That's why it's more direct with you guys. If you're talking about the controversy that's happening right now, you became the face of it. You became the face of being a con artist in the paranormal community on YouTube. Basically, you are the face of it at this point.
Why?
Right.
We are taking it very seriously though, so like we, make certain rules for ourselves, things that we can't do, like we can't take money from the people directly that we're helping with this method of communication.
Directly. Whatever you want to go for that, she just said we're not going to take money directly. So how are you going to take money then? Through other methods, like when people pay for their tickets at the Conjuring House, which costs like up to $1,500, are you going to take money out of that?
We're also acknowledging that the only reason we feel that we have this is for the sole purpose of helping other people. So it's like, it's not for us, and the only thing we can do is help other people with it. So like that's kind of the things that we've developed with it as well.
I know, like, we grew up in a haunted house, and like one of the things that kind of gave us comfort was actually watching ghost shows, like your dad. Did you ever like watch ghost
Oh yeah,
shows?
absolutely, ghost hunt for sure. And I emailed TAPS, finding out.
Oh, here's this story.
Finding out that they were in the next state over. Of course, I was 16 years old, 15 or 16 years old, and I was like, I just found out, you're in the next state over. I would love to just come and learn about the equipment, and I don't have to be part of the team, but I would love to. And they email back, like, no, we're good.
So your dad, Jason Haas, he's a huge figure in the paranormal. He's literally like started this. If you're into the paranormal, you know Jason Haas.
Yes.
So like,
Yep,
what does your
absolutely.
dad think of these abilities that you guys have?
Okay, all right. So, my dad at first was very skeptical, which obviously I even was. So that makes perfect sense. Be skeptical. My dad was like, okay.
It makes sense, though, that he would be skeptical, because Jason Hawes, again, is not somebody who just believes in everything just because it's shown to him.
How is this happening? Are they finding information? Things like that. Obviously, he doesn't want to assume that about me, but obviously he's going to look into it because he's Jason Haas. So we started doing sessions and things, and then things would start happening, like he would witness private sessions and people would be crying because they found out information that you can't search up on the internet. Like we were confirming things that happened in privacy. It went from skepticism to he's definitely like, I don't know how it's happening. It's happening. You can't disprove it. He's tried. And so whatever is working, keep going. Like, keep doing it. So he's very supportive of it. He's like, definitely not my thing, but it's working for you, paving your own way, do it. So he's very supportive. My family's very supportive.
2 weeks ago, Sam and Colby's videos come out. You guys get...
Doesn't really sound like he went into it too much, honestly, because Ancestry.com exists, and if you're having people write down their names, it makes it very convenient for you to look up information. And most of the stuff that you've said, you can look up. You have to do insane amounts of research, but you can look that stuff up. And those videos have proved it so far, that you can look this stuff up. So I think they're just kind of ducking and weaving at this point.
All this exposure, hundreds of thousands of people following you now. Yes. And obviously with that, you have people that are gonna hate, and they're hating, and they're hating. So like, what does your dad think about this newfound like kind of fame, really?
Yeah, the spotlight.
And then B, like, what does he tell you, or what's his advice when you do get these haters or these skeptical people like trying to debunk you?
Yeah.
Well, my dad is very proud of me. I've definitely expressed to him that I'm very stressed out by this sudden change. But he's like, you gotta keep rolling with it. It was supposed to happen. Like he's very supportive on that end. My family, being in the paranormal field our entire lives, are used to, you're gonna get a lot of love and you're gonna get some hate. So don't pay attention to the hate. So that's what we've done. We don't listen to that, because if it's meant for you, it'll help you. If not, move right along. It's not meant for you. It's not something we
Some
care.
of it's been quite comical, to be honest.
It's been kind of funny.
We've gotten a laugh out of some of it. Just some of the theories that people are coming up with, like we're aliens and...
Yeah, we were joint popping, and I'm like, Cody had cancer. If he popped a joint, it wasn't going back. Like, like things like that.
Being on the outside looking in, though, I must say, when you experience it, whether it's in person or through the TV, like, there are so many questions that do come to mind. Mm-hmm. So I feel like asking questions is like a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like we all have them, right? And if you're watching it through the TV and you don't have the ability to actually ask those questions, like they're just gonna stir in your mind. Like we have the luxury of actually sitting with you.
Honestly, like that's the importance, I think, of this video, is like this all kind of happened in the last couple weeks. All these people have these theories and stuff. So this is like, it's good just to like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
One question is like the rules. Like, who makes the rules?
That's a good question. I don't think we know.
Okay.
So the first night that we really figured this out, when we established communication, they just came across with all of this stuff.
Yes. Sternly. Maybe it was somebody from the rule department that had to come and be like, all right, this is what you got to worry about.
Just a question about the rules too. So it seems like, you know, in Sam and Coley's video when they were going over it, and even to us, you've said that it's kind of about messages. Like these spirits are only meant to come give messages and then kind of leave. Why is Abigail different then? She's there and she's facilitating these conversations. She's not necessarily just giving messages, but she's helping facilitate that. Is there a difference between some spirits?
I think because that was her house, and I think depending on the location you go to, like if we went to your house or...
Okay, but didn't Abigail follow you guys to the park? I'm confident that she followed them to the park. Abigail, is that you? And then Abigail would like come in and start doing her dancing and stuff. So why was Abigail following you guys the entire time? But it was supposed to be because of it was her house. I don't know.
Or you know, where your grandfather lived, it would be a different story, you know, because that's a location that's connected to them, and they probably visit very frequently.
I just want to ask about like the alphabet method. Like, first of all, who started it?
Can I take credit for the alphabet thing?
How?
Yeah.
Because I think it was me. I was like, hey, can we spell out things? And that's how we got the how is this happening? How is this possible?
How, though, if Cody was doing it before he met you? How can you take credit for that? That makes no actual effing sense right there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like you just got caught in a lie just then. Even Cody was like, yeah, why not? Yeah, take the fall for it.
And to be quite honest, I totally stole the idea from a Ouija board. I was like, let's be a human Ouija board, you know, and see if we could do it. And
when was that moment?
That was the overnight when we first figured out it was a couple months after we met. And we were at an overnight case, and that's where we had somebody come through.
You know, Cody, in one of the videos, he was saying that when he does these methods, he kind of zones out in a sense. It kind of looks like he's zoned out now. Like he's not even looking at their faces when they're talking about this stuff. Like he's completely looking the opposite direction. He's been doing that the entire time. Like he'll act like he's looking at Satori, but he's not even looking at her. He's just looking off in the distance. Like he can't look at them in the face when he says these things. You ever watch those true crime things where people kind of grab themselves like this as a way of comfort when lying? He's been doing that a lot this entire interview, where he's been kind of comforting himself. Not saying anything. I'm pointing out every detail that I see. People were losing their minds. Oh, are you stretching a little bit? It's like, no, I don't think I really am. I'm confident that these two are just not honest.
Like, how is this possible? And that's when we had the rule thing happen.
God, I can't get comfortable.
Yeah, I think Satori won that one for sure.
I guess we'll get right into some of the online questions / conspiracies. So it's been weeks. There's Reddit pages. There's TikTok pages. There's people saying...
Mention the videos.
I don't want to look. I haven't been looking.
You guys haven't been looked at what some...
This is the guy, by the way, that a lot of people said he does not buy them. And even he has like an attitude. Look at Dakota's face right now. He's like, he's about to ask some pretty harsh questions. Dude, I would be doing the same thing though, honestly. So you haven't been really looking at all the controversy? Okay, if you haven't been looking at the controversy, why make your response video? Again, it's just like they're getting caught in multiple lies at this point.
Some people are like speculating is going on.
We haven't ourselves looked at really anything unless it was brought to us by somebody we know. So we haven't been looking for anything.
So I guess starting off, what have you guys heard?
And I was brought to them, supposedly. Somebody had shown them the message where I said, basically, I wish them nothing but the best, but I don't buy them. And it was, I tried to be as respectful as possible under the circumstances of thinking what I thought at the time, and I still do think. So, yeah, they were very respectful when they got a hold of me, and they messaged me saying that, you know, we absolutely agree that, you know, the positive message here is love and everything, and I agree with that. It's like, okay, yeah, love is a positive message. No one's going to argue with that. But that's kind of why it's a good answer no matter what. The idea of love. So just love everybody, even the con artists. Like that's just the vibe I get now when it comes out of their mouths. Is like, no matter what we do, guys, it's all about love, even if we're lying to your face. And they were very respectful. I respect the shit out of them for that. They were very respectful. They could have come at me, and they didn't. So I was brought to their attention. I just can't get behind them. And I told them that. I was plainly like, you know, just because you guys reached out to me, you know, I really appreciate this and all. And no matter what my believability scale is for your method, letting them know that I still don't believe in their method, I appreciate them reaching out to me. So yeah, I was brought to their attention apparently.
Heard that like you guys want to talk about. Like, let's put it in your
Right.
The biggest thing is I think, misunderstanding between the financial things. That's what, and also some of how our method is similar to that of the Fox sisters
Right.
during the spiritualist movement.
So tell us about what that is.
So the Fox sisters were sisters during the 19th century, 1800s. They had started the spiritualist movement that then in turn became the spiritualism, religion, the spiritualist religion. It's claimed that they would have rapping noises and knocking noises to direct communication.
I'm very curious to know if they say it was never confirmed that they were fake. I'm very curious to know.
They would get certain knocks for yes, certain raps for no, and then they became so well known and so famous that they were, ultimately doing, seances, telling people their futures, having meetings with important people to help with like communicating with the other side. But there are differences to our method to that of the Fox sisters.
And I think the big thing because the Fox sisters, one of the sisters later in life, like in
Thank you very much, Dakota, for mentioning that, because this is something they will not acknowledge. The Fox sisters self-acknowledged they were fake. They came out as fake. And in their video, Cody said that it was speculated that they were fake, but it was never proven. And then in their response video, they were like, guys, do your research more. No, maybe you should do your research more. They came out as fake.
like it was just
All fake.
our joints popping and
So
our
you
wrists
didn't-
and our ankles.
Yeah.
So there's people out there who are saying, well, this is either Cody or Satori's something in their body, their joints are popping. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you say to those people? Because that's one of the biggest theories right now.
Yeah, so the unfortunate thing about film is you can't convey direction very well. Like when you're in the room in person, at least when Satori and I do this, you can hear footsteps coming in from different directions. We've had it coming on the walls before, on the floors above us, below us. So that's one thing that's hard to convey on film.
No, it's not.
But
No, it's not, because I had someone actually get into an argument with me the other day about how does it sound like it's coming up and down the stairs, and I said, it's because you're directing their minds to think that. You are convincing them it's a sign of deception. You are telling them what's happening, and then that's what they think is happening. And it's easy for the viewers to be thinking what the content creators are thinking, because the content creators also think that they're coming down the stairs. So it's very easy to fool both the audience and the paranormal investigators that you're fooling by saying that it's coming down the stairs, because once they start thinking it's coming down the stairs, then the audience is going to start thinking it's coming down the stairs. So you're actually wrong about that. It's not that hard to convey, because a lot of people fell for it, and I certainly did too. So I'm not bashing anybody who did. I fell for it. I thought they were coming down the stairs. Nope. It was a load of deception.
it's just one of those ridiculous things that it's just unfathomable in our minds that could even be possible for the length of communication that we have and the sound level and everything else. It's just just a crazy thought.
When we first started coming out about this, we acknowledged the Fox sisters. We acknowledged that history, that spiritualist religion and the spiritualist movement. If you do your research on their method compared to our method, you will find a lot of differences. There's a lot of conspiracy about, them coming out, about it being fake, but
Stop. It's not conspiracy. It's a fact. What are you talking about? I'm actually getting annoyed now. She just completely threw everything they said to the side, and now it's all a conspiracy. That it wasn't even said. Are you actually serious right now? No, it's not a conspiracy. They self-admit, it is written down in history. They self-acknowledge that they faked it. I can't believe this right now.
also if you do your research, you find that they were offered money to do that and they were
And then, yeah, do your research again. Whatever. Jesus.
financially struggling, and then they recanted the statement. So you wonder, was it actually fake? Also, there's different things like you weren't
No, it
allowed
was,
to see under their
Satori.
dresses, supposedly, from some skeptic claims, like their feet under their dresses. You weren't allowed to, they answered questions about the future, accepted money, things like that, if you do your research.
If it's
I hate that shit. I can't believe you just did that again. If you do your research. What is your deal? Everybody has done their research. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Even Cody just acknowledged, and at least he acknowledged that they came out as fake. But Satori was just like, just completely 180ing it, saying it was only a conspiracy that they did that. So do your research. What is your deal? I'm actually getting pissed. Treating them like idiots to their face, basically. Are you serious?
If that's what you're doing, it has to be your wrist or it has to be like your knee or your foot.
Yeah.
That's the only possible thing. So like, how do we go about disproving that one day to people? Like, what's the step? Because
How do we go like, let's cross it off the list, show everybody like
Take off
it's
your
not
socks and
them
shoes.
like doing something.
So we got really big out of our comfort zone to do this experimentation thing with Sam and Colby that we did. And we did what we were comfortable with and what the spirits were comfortable with, because there are some things that we can and we can't do. But the big thing is...
Makes it very easy to hide then. Makes it very easy. We are limited on what we can do because it's going to offend the spirit. Oh, that's convenient.
that I like to look at it like this, for one. If we were...
That I like to look at it this. Oh my! Please stop. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I know exactly what they're gonna say.
to give no way for people to have any sort of skepticism, and they're not meant to believe in this yet, or they're not meant to have these experiences, or they won't take it well. What would happen tomorrow if we proved it for certain? You know, like, would that like create chaos? You know,
No.
like, that's something I'm afraid of. For
No, it wouldn't. And I could tell by everybody's look on their face. They are just not buying them at all. Right there. Good on you guys. Good on you guys for showing that you... I could tell by your faces that you are just not sure what to think at this point. Like, you are just... She looks not too happy. He looks not too happy. He looks confused and like, are you serious right now? And he's just like, it's bad. It's bad. This is exact... I just view myself but between two of them just look at, are you serious?
one. Also, I feel like we did really prove it in any way we could that was within our comfort zone on Sam and Colby. You know, we're not obviously popping our joints or anything. You can see, you know, my arms in the video.
All right. We still got like 15 more minutes left. Are you serious right now? What else can be said? This is it. Beautiful. This is exactly how I unfortunately knew they were going to respond. And look at Cody, dude. Look at how zoned out he is right now. Like, he doesn't even want to look at their faces.
And Cody, again, I like to make this joke. If Cody popped a joint, it wouldn't be going back in because he has really bad bones and joints from cancer.
Okay, but how does
things
anybody know this? All you've told us is what we should be thinking, but you haven't actually showed us any proof of all this stuff. I'm sorry, at this point, I don't know how anybody can believe these people. I just don't. They keep tripping over one coffee table after another of all the wrong ways to respond. This is exactly what you look for when dealing with con artists, and they're doing it. Even the Project Fear team don't even know what to think right now.
that.
Like, what's going on with your bones from the cancer?
I've already had one hip replacement. I'm going to have my second hip replacement this coming February.
Looks like Swiss cheese.
So yeah, so unfortunately,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. My dad has had hip replacement surgery, and he cannot run like you did in that forest. Not even close. So I'm not sure what kind of hip replacement surgery that you had, if it was very minor or not, but my dad has had full-on hip replacement surgery. He cannot run like that. I don't know. I don't know everything about hip replacement surgery. I just know my dad has a struggling time with that. And he's obviously he's a lot older than Cody, too, so maybe that might actually go into it a little bit. But I almost don't even buy it.
yeah, because of all the treatment and everything, my bones have really deteriorated and stuff. So that's just one of the theories that we kind of laugh about, because it's just, when you're there in person, it's totally different than watching it on camera. So you have the noises for one thing, and then you have the information that comes through, which is the other big thing.
That's not
we
good
definitely
enough.
stepped out of our comfort zone completely by, going on.
Stop saying
video.
that. You stepped out of your comfort zone. Oh, whoop de fucking do. I stepped out of my comfort zone, too, doing YouTube. I'm actually getting pissed off. Because they treat everybody like idiots. Even the Project Fear team, who are very sophisticated and smart people, are sitting in front of them like, are you serious right now?
And things like that. I don't know. It's interesting seeing people's different, opinions on it.
Believe it or don't, we're still going to be waking up tomorrow and doing the same thing.
Stop acting as happy as you are. Stop laughing about it. This isn't fucking a joke. People, you're actually taking advantage of people. and you're lying to their faces. You're telling them that their dead relatives are talking, and you're laughing about it when these guys are very much serious about what they're asking you. This is why I don't, because they treat it like a joke. Oh, no, guys, we'll be helping people tomorrow. It's like, believe it or don't believe it, whatever. This is painful. This is really painful.
It's just one of those things.
Right.
It's just one of those
like,
things.
There's some people, and this is just a question, they don't even have a theory to it, but the question is like, why does it seem like you're always asking the questions and reciting the alphabet, and then you aren't? Like, is there a reason for that?
No, it's just because I do most of the talking. Like, to be completely
I'm more
honest.
the quiet one anyway. I mean, I've always been more the quiet. I think I sound very boring.
If people want to see Cody doing the talking and reciting, he can do it. Like, we'll make sure to do it the next time we ever do, if we do it again, for big YouTube or
I think
something
it's
like
important
that.
because, like, when I saw that question, the only reason I'm bringing it up because then I started to think about our footage. I'm like, oh yeah, like you really were talking most of the time.
I go so fast too. That's also something else a lot of people say. Like, you go.
Why
through
are
the
you laughing so much? Why are you chuckling and laughing as much as you are? And he's smiling too, awkwardly. They're treating it like it's a joke. Like, no, this is a silly thing. Why are we even questioning it, everybody? Guys, I just gotta finish it.
alphabet and talk so fast. I'm like, because I want to get as much as I can out in such a short amount of time.
Okay, so what you guys do is obviously like altruistic. It's good.
Yes.
You believe it's fully like created for good.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's also like this element that you guys were talking about, or at least you were talking about, Satori, that like you don't want people to like have the ability to disprove every single thing. Don't you think though, like if people could just disprove everything, like all that whole list, if we had a list of things and you could just check them all off and people were like, yes.
I don't think people would. I mean, there's some individuals out there that
You think
no
a
matter-
lot. You two think and assume a lot. Like, you assume automatically just because you would step out of your comfort zone again, take your socks and shoes off, God forbid, right? God forbid you take off your socks and shoes, guys. You know what? Look at that shit. Look how dirty those are. You know, fucking just take off your gosh dang socks and shoes. What's so difficult about that? And you're actually in a position where you'd probably get a lot of fame from doing something like that. But you know, the reason why you're probably not doing it is because you know that people are gonna see you pop your joints. Or worse, they might even not want to do it because you've offended the ghosts, right? I don't think my grandpa spirit is gonna be offended that he saw my feet. Son of a gun probably watched me get changed when I was a baby. You think he's gonna be offended by my feet? Okay.
What you show them, they're still not going to.
I could have a spirit sit
We
right
could do
here
this for
next to me,
days.
and
We
it
have.
would-
We have. We've done it. We've been there and done it. And
Do it again.
you know, we've definitely learned that there's some people that you just can't change their mind.
And there are some people, and the reason we say what we say is because there are some people that we have done this for and we've gone out of our way to try to prove ourselves to in a private setting, and it's done more harm than good for them. Like mentally, you know, like they weren't ready for it. Religiously, they weren't ready for it. Like, you know, like they
does that make any
literally
sense?
had a negative effect from what we did.
So, someone did a little Reddit post, and they were talking about how, Cody, you created a company called Des Tech, which is like paranormal equipment, ghost
I
hunting.
love that they are asking him all the questions I feel like anybody should. You know, applaud. Everybody, applaud to the Project Fear team for actually asking the fucking questions that a lot of people would probably never put in front of them. The Des Tech team, I'm assuming he's about to bring up like the fact that Cody probably mentioned that they don't have time to make all this equipment, but yet he has a equipment making company for paranormal tech. Good shit, man. Good shit. You're doing good.
Equipment. So there's a theory out there that this could be explaining the knocking noises. Like, this guy used to make paranormal equipment. Like, why? Like, what could he be doing? Like, maybe, like, the theory is that you built something since you've made all these pieces of equipment, and that that's what the knocking is. It's an actual piece of equipment.
Cody sold cat balls.
I made 2 pieces of equipment that
You're actually... I'm getting so effing annoyed by them looking at the camera and laughing like this. There should be no reason why you're looking at the camera and laughing as much as you are. Like, you're in on a joke, guys. Come on, laugh with us. What am I watching right now? I feel like they're treating me like an idiot again. Oh my God, this can't be real. It's full-blown psychotic. The way you're laughing at the camera right now. No one's making jokes. What the hell?
I never sold. It was just me and my friend Dustin.
I don't know. I'm
Perry.
sorry,
We
guys.
made some-
I apologize. I'm not trying to get aggravated or anything, but the way they've gone about handling everything. And one of the reasons why people, you can't believe what all debunkers say. Debunkers are part of the problem too. They always make up these theories, but they can't prove anything. It's like they're doing it to themselves. They are fucking ruining their own reputation right now because they can't answer the simple things, and they make everybody feel like an idiot. So you watching right now, if you're a Cody Satori fan, they are laughing at you for even questioning any possible outcome. Like anything. Don't question anything, because that's a joke. That's a laugh. Oh, well, you probably shouldn't be asking that.
Pieces of equipment that had to do with EVP work.
And honestly, that desk tech thing, you never really advanced with it because you were like, it's too much work to try to hope that the sensitivity on these things were done correctly by the companies I'm working with.
This is
all
embarrassing.
sorts of things like that.
Yeah,
Actually embarrassing.
I saw some of those pictures. I saw the cat balls and some of those 2 microphone things. And
exactly.
I saw some of the pictures with Dustin Perry and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. It's an interesting theory. I just know for us, it's even interesting. So I know I could not build a piece of equipment, but at the same time, even if you can build equipment, are you able to build something that's knocks on command?
The device would have to move around the room as well too, or you'd have to have a bunch of devices.
And you know what? I admire that people are trying to figure this out, whether you agree with us or not. We admire that.
No, you don't.
But it's just kind of funny because it's like they're holding
No,
on
you don't.
to any.
If you admired it, you wouldn't be laughing at them. If you admired it, you'd be like, that's an interesting theory, but this is why it's not, why you're wrong. And then you would prove it that it's wrong. Everything you're doing is the completely wrong way to handle the situation. I'm actually ashamed of you. I don't say that much about content creators or people out there in the world. I'm actually ashamed about every way you've handled this. This is absolutely embarrassing. It's mocking. It's rude. It's cruel. You're just laughing at everybody for questioning anything. And there are people out there who still defend you, by the way. They come to me and they defend the shit out of you. And those people are probably being duped still. It's pretty sad. It's pretty heartbreaking.
Thing they can in certain cases. I know somebody had mentioned to us they were worried because at one point, so people were talking about how we moved at one point during the session. We swayed or we moved our leg. And I'm like, but I need to breathe. I need to move.
Okay, but you said earlier that you don't watch all the criticisms. You don't pay attention to the hate. But here you sound like you are. Why are you lying so much?
It's like one of those things where it's such a fantastical and bizarre thing that's totally not normal that actually happened, that people are going to be very inquisitive and it's going to be hard to grasp reality if this is all whatever.
Sam and Colby had a lot of unique stuff come through, and then we did too. We had stuff that blew our minds that came through. But then they haven't done it for us yet, but someone did put together a video where they found the information that you guys are saying. They found his grandma, they found the obituaries and all this stuff. And then when after our even experience and we saw that, I actually could find some of the stuff, the cigar stuff, and then everything to do with our grandpa I could find, whether it was on the internet or my mom's Facebook page. So what do you say to the people that think that you're researching this, memorizing it, and then making it happen?
So there's a couple points on that. For one, I wonder if, and this is just come to my head, they're obviously doing the research after watching the video. So they already have, I believe Sam's grandmother's the nickname. It was a nickname we came up with, I believe. So did they search that nickname and then Sam's, because would you have found that if you just searched up Sam grandmother, say full name, then grandmother,
actually.
Without having the name
without having that nickname already from the video.
No, you can actually. That's exactly what I did. I looked up Sam's grandmother, Sam Goldback's grandmother, and it came up, and her nickname was right in the middle.
I wonder if you would have found it as easily, but then it's totally okay to believe that we're, if you want to believe we're researching things. I also wonder how would we remember that, do it without anybody ever seeing it, and then Actors memorize scripts all the time. What are you saying at this point? What are you treating everybody like it? Are people stupid? Every time I look at their faces, I can tell they just do not buy these guys. They just do not buy them at all. And I apologize if my microphone was not close to my face. I apologize. It's probably good that it wasn't, because I was yelling quite loud.
One of you have to have a, what's it called?
Photographic memory.
A photographic
That's
memory.
literally the only way.
I can barely spell my own name. So we can disprove
Okay,
me
take your word for it, right?
Right there.
Yeah, and I know there's cases that we go to where we're just brought
There was stuff we could find, but once again, it means one of you has a photographic memory.
Yeah.
But that is one of the theories being floated.
Yeah.
Is like, because people are finding this information.
Rightfully so. That's a good theory.
It is a good theory.
Yeah, I mean that's one that would make sense, but
So there's a video going around from 11 years ago. It's on TikTok. And it's a video of you, Cody, doing an investigation. Must have been for like one of the random teams you worked for. And
first team.
Oh, Attleboro, right?
Yep.
I think, yeah, like the start of the video, there's a guy in there and he says something like, Cody, do the ABC thing you were doing.
Yeah.
And then you start counting the
Satori laughing and smiling like it's a joke. She might be pissing me off more than Cody is right now. Yeah, he's about to get called out for lying again because she apparently took the credit for it. But Cody, here he is doing it before Satori.
ABCs, and you guys eventually end up spelling the name Bill, and then it says like, yes, it's Bill.
His name like we did in the past with the alphabet.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, try figuring out your name here. I'm going to go through the alphabet, and when I get to the first letter of your name, I want you to give me a knock.
Caught in a lie again.
A. B.
First letter is B.
I.
So is it one for yes, two for no? Is it B-I? Is it Bill? Is your name Bill?
That was a floor. That wasn't the floor.
So his name is Bill.
So there's people out there, like the big theory, other than the sisters, is like, Cody's been doing this well before he met Satori.
Mastermind.
Yeah, I mean,
Was it like the
yeah.
like how
With the knocks.
same? Okay, similar.
it's definitely not as intense as what we experienced.
Yeah.
But it is weird for people. But before I even say my opinion, like, what do you guys have to say to that?
So it's weird. So when things are happening like that, I mean, back then that was my first group, and when stuff happens like that, you don't think that you're part of that. It's just an experience that's happening, right? And there's been times where we've had some interactions with banging sounds and things like that, and whether I'm a part of that happening, with energy-wise.
Because that is one of those theories where you're like, okay, like, he is doing the ABCs, he is getting knocked, so it's definitely, that was the one that's like, okay, I mean, I see why people are being somewhat skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you also wonder, like, was it the start of something that's now here? Because, I mean, when I was
But you just got caught in a lie because you said you take credit for the ABCDEFG method. But yet here he is doing it before he met you.
younger, I used to see things all the time. And even still now, sometimes when we do this, I'll sometimes see things.
And maybe that was just an unknown start to what's become.
I think the thing that's throwing people up is the ABC thing, because they're like, what? I thought he said he never did that, and like whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah.
On top of that video of the whatever, the old video of knocking, there's like a couple of videos out there, people like filming their feet and like doing something in their shoe, and it's making like a tapping noise.
Are you gonna laugh at this too? That's a silly trick. Never seen that before. And she's doing it on a blanket or a comfort. Okay, so you can still make the knocks happen even through a comforted fabric.
So if you listen carefully.
Dead oak, yep.
You can control the loudness.
And like it kind of, it's the same people who think the Fox sisters.
Oh, joint popping stuff?
So there's there's one video of a guy like doing something. I don't know what he's doing inside his shoe with his toes, but it is like popping. It's making a weird noise. So like, would you guys be willing to do the session with your shoes off and your socks off, just to show people like, look at our feet. We are not popping our joints.
So the first thing sort of plays into the whole I don't want to force everybody to believe, because I wonder what that would happen to society if we did that. But also another part is, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't want my foot fetished on the.
I'm 100% convinced at this point that you're both just full of it and you have no ounce of any sort of shame. I cannot believe you just did the foot fetish excuse. I can't believe you just did that. Clearly they do look at all the controversy, because that was something that was going around a lot, foot fetish. And she's obviously somebody who does take a lot of, she's obviously, I can't believe this. I can't believe these people.
Internet, so I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm just completely real with you guys. I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe
good excuse.
There have been some people in privacy, and they can speak to it if they want to, if they want to come forward and talk about it, that have seen it without shoes on. But it was a very closed, very, quiet, setting where we had privacy, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's their thing to tell. But I don't know if I'd want to do it for everybody, because then they're going to jump to the next thing that we're faking it somehow with.
Or like, what about not today, since we are running out of time, but like, would you at some point in the future, if we ever did another video, would you be willing to do it with us, or even off camera, or just to show one of us, not even all of us?
Maybe off camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
I think that
We'd
would
have to
help.
see if the spirits would want to do it.
I think that'd be a great
Okay.
way, even if it's just to like us and some people
Yeah, because spirits get offended by bare feet.
so that we can come out even stronger. Like, guys, we
Yeah.
saw
Right.
it with their feet.
We
I know
saw
some,
their feet.
You're never going to please them, no matter what, whether you say you did or not.
but would you even like take that step, even as gross as you don't want your feet out there, like just to prove to these people? Because it is like, to me, the easiest way to disprove the joint thing is like,
Well-
let's just film their feet and show you it's not their joints.
Yeah, maybe someday off camera we'd show you. Just because, again, I just am super
No, you're
weird
not.
about the feet. But
No, you're not. You're just using it as an excuse so you don't have to do it. It's not really her that should be worried. What about Cody? Are you worried about your feet?
yeah, maybe someday off camera.
Okay.
Just so that people like us can come forward and say, guys, we've seen it with their shoes off, with their socks off. It's not their joints. It'd be great, I think, to eventually put it to the test.
They're not going to
'cause
do it, guys.
We're not here to obviously prove or disprove. It's not our job, and it's not your job either. But
Yeah.
I think there are some things we could do that would be like,
Honestly, paranormal investigators, yeah, in a sense, I do believe it is kind of your job to disprove and prove these things. I'm not trying to put pressure on your shoulders, but unfortunately, and what you guys are trying to do right now is ask the questions that should be asked, because you should not want your audiences to feel fooled. Because that's what's happening right now. Are a lot of paranormal audiences are feeling like idiots after this. I felt like a giant idiot because I watched Sam McColby's videos and then I started learning all this stuff. So yeah, I would love it if someone could prove to the world that these guys are not honest, but they're doing a good job themselves, really. If I had to be honest.
Silence all the haters.
silence
and all
at
that
least
crap.
the big theories.
And also, like, when we're dealing with something that's actually potentially, like, changing people's viewpoints on, like, what they've always believed
That's
in, like,
dangerous.
faith, I feel like they deserve to at least, like, have that one thing, Like, if you're gonna change your whole freaking faith on it,
Sure.
like, just that one simple thing, it would be like, after that, you guys would literally have crossed, like, all the things that you guys could have possibly done. Like,
Yeah.
you guys...
It's up to the spirits, truthfully.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I know that
get-
sounds super corny, and you have
No, it sounds not corny. It sounds super stupid and convenient for you.
to be in the room to really believe it. But it really is up to them. So it's more,
I'm just done.
maybe sometime in the future. I think maybe off camera.
Yeah. I think it would help, at least for us and others out there, like, might as well try just to show us. And,
Yeah.
But we do have questions, and reading the internet, it's like, okay, there's skeptical people out there, and
But it's a big deal. Like, it's people's, like, thoughts on the afterlife.
Yeah.
Like, this is huge. Like, you are the only people that I know that have that type of ability. So it's like, it is such a big deal, like, to everyone's personal life, too. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm like, holy cow, it, like, shifts people's way of thinking.
No matter what, we're not going out of our way to prove ourselves to anybody. Believe in whatever you want, whether it's in support of us or not, and we'll still be doing it tomorrow.
yeah.
So.
Yep,
Yeah.
one of the
What do you
reasons why a lot of people have an issue right now with Satori and Cody and they don't want to stop talking about them is because they have that attitude. We're going to be doing it tomorrow. Great, so you're going to be fooling even more people and ruining a lot more lives. Great job. Great stuff.
They will do the barefoot thing on or off camera, it doesn't matter.
He's really trying to push the on camera.
Because that's the main theory, I think, that's got people the most. Like, well,
Yes.
why can't we see him with their... Because, like, if it's a joint popping,
Yeah.
the only thing that does make sense is a foot. Because it's like
Yeah.
all your weight's on that foot. It's probably the easiest thing to pop without making much movement. So I think it would be the best test. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I think we should do that at some point. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it enlightening. Whether you believe them or not, we did find it important to sit down face to face with them and ask these hard questions. I did speak with Satori very recently, and she wanted me to give you all a little update. She has
After a lot of thought and consideration, we have decided that our communication methods should be studied further. We do not feel like that this should be done or exploited and twisted within the world of YouTube, but an actual controlled study documented with credible, neutral researchers and persons solely involved with finding the truth on the matter. We have been nothing but open and honest regarding what we do. I don't believe that, and any possible theories surrounding it, because and we'll continue to moving forward. We will not be embarking on this journey to prove ourselves, as that has never been the point of what we do, but rather to further the paranormal field as well as our understanding of what lies beyond. More is to come in the future. Satori and Cody, the paranormal couple. Okay, so why not just do it now? Why not just prove this now? That's the issue everybody has, guys. That is the issue. Why not just prove it now? Now, obviously, this is a great thing. This is obviously amazing. But we've given you so much time, 3 months to be exact, to come up with any sort of possible way of even remotely coming up with a way that you could be tricking the world even more. So why should we believe you? Why should we trust everything you say? Why should we take your word for it? Everything you've done in this situation has been the completely wrong approach. And it was, for some reason, you're putting it on YouTube as the reason why you guys decided not to do this. But everybody's been trying to... That's the issue, guys. Everybody wanted you to prove it because they wanted to believe. They wanted to have faith in you. That was the whole point of it anyways. It wasn't just about the trolls, which were there, but it wasn't even just about the trolls. It was about proving to the world that, you know, this is a huge deal for the world of the paranormal.
Let me know that at some point in the near future, they will be performing the method without socks or shoes. I don't know what venue this will be showcased on, but they have agreed to do it. They've officially agreed to do it. So that will be very intriguing. I know I cannot wait to see that whenever they decide to do it. As far as the future goes, we still have 6 more videos to come out as a part of this haunted house road trip. So keep an eye out for those. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when our next videos get released. Also, there was no duck in this video, so I'm going to show you a quick shot of us holding the duck.
It's right here. It's the duck. There it is. All
Did
right.
you find it?
There you go. There's the duck. There's the duck. It's not hidden this time, but it's there. It's there.
All right. Yeah, that video, it was annoying. I'm sorry. But that's because I know what I know now, and it's just aggravating to me. They have had plenty of time to come up with the answers now. They have had plenty of time to fool everybody again, but they couldn't do a simple task of just showing their fucking feet. And I know that I already can see the comments now. Well, they said they already agreed to do it, so stop being such a wuss and stop being such an asshole. It's like, why couldn't they have done this a long time ago then? If it wasn't that big of an issue, now we're just doing it all of a sudden. Why did it take this long? Why did it take over 3 months to get something going? Makes no effing sense. Makes actually no effing sense why it took this long. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section. Get this video up to 200 likes. I'll continue to watch Project Fear. Hopefully, yeah, we can move on from the Conjuring series and get something else going. I'm not sure if they're ever going to come out with a video. If they ever do, that's great. But, yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy and take care.